Well, welcome to Know the Odds podcast, Grid Money, everybody. Hope you're having a great week. We're coming off of week 5 of the NFL, and we certainly had a great week. It was good games going on this week 5. There were a lot of upsets. Upsets are good for us when it comes from a handicapper's perspective. We had, the Broncos beat the Chargers. Raiders beat the Bears. All of these guys are in the same division, actually, I'm just realizing. But the Chiefs also got beat by the Colts. Good week for the underdogs. And like I said, upsets are good for the handicappers because it gets everybody betting differently the next week. Oh, the Chiefs aren't the supreme leaders that we thought they were, and they're on a downhill slump now, and they're going to be and the consensus is going to shift greatly, and that influences and is one of the main influencers of Vegas lines, which is good for people that keep emotional betting out of it and just stick to what they know and the facts. And we're going to see if there's a couple plays that we can get off of these upsets that happened in week 5. We're going to cover our favorite bets of week 6. And we're going to talk through a little bit of fantasy and some interesting plays that are going on this week. Looking forward to it. Let's jump right in. There's some great games going on this week. We got Thursday night Giants and the Pats, a non-divisional rivalry going at it. Be exciting to watch. A lot of these games I don't really plan to put any action on. There is some difference between my projections and what the Vegas lines that are coming out. This is going to be one of the less busy weeks for me as far as placing action goes. I just have a couple of favorite bets, and I'm not planning on making that many, but there's going to be some very entertaining games. A game that I believe has the potential to be very entertaining, and one that I'll most likely put action on. I'm not going to put it in there as my favorite bet, but we got the Redskins and the Dolphins. Now, I don't like bashing on teams, but we got two of some of the worst teams in the NFL right now. But the thing is, I believe that they're fairly equal. And when two equal teams meet, you got the potential for good football. And right now, the Redskins are favored to win by 3 points. And the question you got to ask yourself is they're both going through hard times. It's believed that the Dolphins are, well, it's believed by many that the Dolphins are trying to tank. And then the Redskins are just extremely unfortunate this year, just lost their coach. They have no idea what's going on at the quarterback position. It goes back and forth. I don't think the right question here is who's the worst team. I think the right question here is who wants it more. I'm still not of the position that the Dolphins are trying to tank. I think that being a professional team and professional players, everybody wants to win this game. Rosen wants to show that he actually has what it takes to be a franchise quarterback. So he's going to be doing his best to not lose this game. The Dolphins have the tools that it takes to get the job done. Playing at home, I see them winning this game, but we're going to take the spread for the Dolphins +3. Cover the spread in this game against the Redskins. That's going to be the most interesting game of the week, I think. Unless it just turns into an all-defense game and there's no scoring, then I'm going to tune out pretty quickly. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Redskins-Dolphins game and if you see a good play for betting action there. Let's go to my 2 favorite bets of the week. We're only going to have 2 of them this week. Closest thing that you have this week to easy money, I believe, is a spread bet that the Eagles are going to cover +3 against the Vikings. You have a great team in the Eagles against an okay team in the Vikings. The only reason why I think that the Vikings are listed as the favorites at this point is that the consensus is weighed too heavily in favor of the Eagles. Vegas needs to fix that, and so they make the Vikings a more attractive bet, hoping that people will take action on the Vikings. But that doesn't change the projection of what is likely to happen in the game. Eagles are still going to be the favorites, just not from a Vegas perspective. And we talk about that in earlier episodes and how betting consensus is one of the main influencers on Vegas lines. When the consensus is mismatched, Vegas needs to fix it, and they need to get everybody betting equally on either side of the ball. And that's what I believe the case is here. You could do a money line bet for the Eagles. Just in the effort to be consistent, I'm going to take the spread. The Eagles are going to cover in the Vikings. So that's bet one. Bet two is going to be the Steelers versus the Chargers. Steelers are hitting some dark times in their franchise, and quite likely that they're going to have the third string quarterback in, as Mason Rudolph is in concussion protocol right now. Even if Mason Rudolph makes it out of protocol before the game, I'm still going to take the Chargers to win the game, -7. I think this line is influenced mainly out of fear that the third string quarterback Steelers and the crumbling Steelers team is not going to hold up. But I also believe that the underdog Broncos beating the Chargers in Week 5 has gotten people wondering about the strength of this Chargers team. And that being the case, the spread doesn't reflect as much as what they're capable of. I got them winning by 14 points. Vegas has them winning by 7. Like I said, when underdogs win, it gets people wondering what was wrong with the projections in the first place. And the truth is, just sometimes that happens. And it could be that the Broncos were a good team. It could be that the Chargers really suck. But the truth is, there's only two teams. One of them's got to win. And sometimes it's the one that people think doesn't deserve it. That doesn't mean that you got to throw the Chargers out and they're gonna they're gonna only win by a few points against a very terrible team. No, the Chargers are a great team. Steelers do not have it this week. They haven't had it in a while. They're lacking in all positions. The Chargers have what it takes to crush them soundly. And that's why I believe that they should be favored to cover the spread of -7 against the Steelers. So there you go. Eagles and Chargers to cover the spread. My favorite bets of the week. All right, I want to just highlight a couple players when it comes to daily fantasy this week. We've got some potentially very high-scoring games this week, and it's good to capitalize on that if you can, to get some of the key players in those high-scoring games, which this week I believe is going to be, first off, the Detroit at Green Bay game coming up on Sunday night. I think both Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers are going to be putting up a good number of points, but I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers as our deal of the week in the quarterback position. He's healthy. He's got the receivers and the tools that he needs to get the points up on the board, and he's been very accurate, and he's listed at a good price this week at $7,600 on FanDuel. So go check out Aaron Rodgers. Similar situation, high-scoring game, Houston at Kansas City. And we have our deal of the week in Kansas City, LaShawn McCoy, due to get some massive points there. They'll be out for revenge at home, a very tough rival for Mahomes, and that translates into points. When teams are matched up evenly, you hope for that high-scoring, multi-touchdowns kind of game. with a good defense in Houston, you can expect them to get pretty close to the end zone, but then get shut down, and so maybe rely more heavily on their running backs to get it in the end zone. And that translates into points for, ideally, LeSean McCoy. And go check out the rest of our deals of the week in those positions at knowtheodds.net. But lastly, for our defense, we got to go with the Patriots. They're listed a little bit higher price-wise at $5,000 on FanDuel. But this Thursday night against the Giants, I expect the Patriots to continue doing what they've been doing, keeping their opponents to extremely low scores and dominating from a defensive position in New England this Thursday. Like I said, go check out knowtheodds.net and our fantasy rankings page for all the rest of our deals of the week, updated every week. Wishing you guys the best of luck and happy gambling this week in NFL Week 6. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys.